Let's call the meeting to order. Let's say City School Board of Education, Thursday, September 18th, is now 15. First item on the agenda, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Next item on the agenda, roll call please.
Member Dennis Guerrero.
Present.
Board Member David Cordova. Board Secretary Dr. Joseph Zerb. Board Vice President Paul Gonzalez. Board President Michael Buchanan.
Present. No problem, thank you. Next item on the agenda, is approval of agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion on the approved agenda for today's regular meeting.
A motion by Mr. Gonzalez, have a second. Have a second by Dr. Sarah, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes, August 28, 2025, regular board meeting. We got a motion to approve the minute.
So I make a motion to approve the minutes for regular board meeting on August 28th.
A motion by Mr. Gonzalez. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Dr. Missouri. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is public input. We have no public input. Next item is finance report.
The finance committee met Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. The July 2025 financial report for the general and student activity accounts were reviewed as follows: operating and activity bank reports and checklist, operating revenue and expenditure reports by fund, purchase orders issued in July 2025, the payroll journal report, fund balance report, budget collateral report, budget adjustment requests to include bar 6925260001, an increased budget bar 6925260005, and a decreased budget bar 6925260005. We also have a $5,000 donation from Paul David and Linda Pereira for the Robertson High School football team. The recommendation by the committee is to approve the financial reports for July 2025, including the bars and the donation requests.
And we did approve the commission last month. The only thing we did was table the 3 bars. So we to approve this bar. This is wrong.
Yeah, I would. Sorry, paying them.
What were you putting for them?
That's random purchase. Yes, random purchase.
A motion to approve the pre-preventive bar.
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Gonzalez. Do I have a second? A second by Dr. Missouri. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Mr. President, also the finance committee met also on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. For the August 2025 financial reports and general and student activity account for review as follows: the operating and activity bank reports and checklist fees, the operating revenue and expenditure reports and funds, purchase orders issued in August of 2025, payroll journal report, the knowledge report, and collateral report. There were no budget adjustment requests or donations to review. The recommendation of the committee is to approve the financial reports for August 2025. On the recommendation, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the financial reports for August 2025.
There is no bars, correct? I have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez, do I have a second? All second it. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is presentation. I have item A, Megan Weldon from one of Mr. Dennis. Mr. Dennis. Thank you. Yes, sir. I know there's some questions by, board member, and, I know you guys have questions, so I know you just sent all, and to me that there was another question about some of the scope of work that you did, so I just thought it'd be best to invite you to our board meeting. To see if there's any questions to the panel, to, see, so.
Certainly, any questions? The project that was achieved with my the work in it will get meter footage. And that can you talk a little bit about what you have in it for us?
Yeah, so what we did was 2,810 feet. We needed to remove and replace with a new wrought iron panels. And then we did 2,500 feet of new 6-foot chain. All that included removal of old fence and disposal. And then the change orders that were brought up, the opener, commercial opener was added to the main entrance of the school, which wasn't included in the initial scope of work, and 2 additional walk-through gates walk.
Who contacted you to change it?
Chris Sandoval,
And there were changes, the Rockies, the chief for $1,108, and the gate opener, which I think he upgraded and for us, free of charge if you will, was $6,000.
You're aware of these changes, so.
It's
I know you mentioned that you put in new panel, but there's some of the contracts to keep some of the existing and then add on to it. And then there was some area that you did put new panel.
Yeah. So the existing fence front and back that are on the main streets, and forgive me, I don't know the exact name of the street, Cinder on the back. Well, actually, those the existing fence was built really well and sturdy. The thickness of the posts was in great condition and was showing signs of deterioration. So as far as that made the distinction that we would remove every other post and insert new panels into the existing post.
And that's what you did.
Yes. That was the scope of work.
Just remember.
Fencing that we give you,
Dispose of it.
where do we go for that?
Have it stop.
Is there any way you got a long story that we could have that block that for a long one?
Is that,
I think that it would be good to practice cutting and putting some small boards together. No, we don't.
of course, that'd be up to you. I know on your bid, did you put in there that we would keep it or did you're gonna?
They were very clear that we were to retain what was pulled out of full of concrete. You would need a piece of equipment in the way that we removed it. They weighed quite a bit, so they still have concrete on it and everything.
We can't cut some portions off.
Yeah, I could take. Well, I would gladly do it.
It'd be good to have for
Definitely. And something else I wanted to happen, 2 of the 4 welders that were on this project were graduates of Robertson High School and obtained their welding certificates from the community college. So,
Yeah, that's a good idea, Mr. Moore. If we can, I think it, I know that's gonna cost a little bit of money, to have somebody with labor just to set that up a little bit. It's good, we'll need to have Robertson maybe. If there's a place that you can store it for us, or they could use it, in the meantime, we don't have a place to store it, obviously, at Robertson High School.
We can slow it down by maintenance. Or we have the wood from the old major, the wood one, we could have some non-portable bottom.
But I can always speak with Mr. Royal when he comes back at retirement and see, maybe try over to see if that's real and useful for them. And we can see what we need. But I don't want to do is bring something that is not going to be, we.
It's like,
Yeah.
So maybe we can, send all, get in contact with you, and then she can discuss it with their, our truck figures out. Maybe we kind of just work together. Yeah, we don't have to do it with different lots.
The other thing, you can add Mr. Cooper, you require a state purchasing contractor, question with the specific, organization.
Yes, I guess the specific terminology would be statewide price increase. I have an active contract. Perfect.
Great. So any other questions for us? And is there anything else that you still lack in there? I noticed, went by there today, there's a pile of free coffee. That's something that you can clean up, it's right there, but a lot more gates from there.
Yes, we had to go back a couple of times to get the settings on the gates right, so we got one final thing clean up through there. Where all gates working properly, everything's staying in, we're pretty much out of the sides of the
President, I just like to thank you. When I drove by several nights at 7:30, 8 o'clock, I saw you been off the work. You, the dedication you guys put into that project is very much appreciated. And again, we got that, we know to get it done, and for you to get your team operating way to, I really appreciate the project. So thank you very much.
Thank you guys for the opportunity. Already that, guys. Yes.
Before we, done right there, and maybe.
Good.
About to work together.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is old business, I made police car deletion center in Mr. Dollars.
Good evening, Superintendent, members of the board, fellow workers, so. Once again, this is I'm going to recommend. Accept the donations, we can get rid of the police force that were given to us. I know in the previous board meeting, they given them the fundraiser and we could give everybody back $10 and we sold them. I didn't like that idea. I didn't took over myself, but it was pretty funny. I did not do that. So I think it would be a great fundraiser, but I think just need to come out for a month, maybe to space in many years.
So,
Mr. Chairman, the board may get contact our body, with regards to, having given up a session about, having followed approval, she didn't keep it, that was okay, that we just continue with the process of approval for disposal. So I would recommend, for disposal, so we can then send that information to, TET to get that formal approval, and then you can go to auction. Going on disposal. Without having.
this was from,
On the recommendation, we can go to the previous photo of who we are. Our recommendation, we separately donations.
motion by Mr. Romero. What's second?
Okay.
A second, I got from Missouri. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Romero. Next item on the agenda is policy B lab. This is the second reading. We've already moved the first. Mr. Brown,
I make a motion that we approve the second reading for item B, the record.
I have a motion by Mr. Romero to approve policy B lab. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is new business. For capital meter agreement with Wallace.
Well, so in July, we brought forth the per capita agreements for 2,000 outstanding and the contractors being parents and come in to start. So we have completed signed by the witness, and then from the board and make the recommendation to Mr. Chair, to the board, make recommendation to the board, here.
On my recommendation, I would make a motion that we approve.
Second.
A motion, and a second by Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Next item on the agenda is item B, the building by the public energy side of the Sound Bowl.
Mr. Chair, members of the board. This information, or just informational, as I mentioned, you are forming, are working, with, an architectural firm to, review Pauline Henry's site and, give us, basic, understanding and idea of what, this is gonna look like. We are very preliminary stages, of this work. It's focused on estimating that based on the programs that we already have established, we're looking at getting for example, for the remarks are and design or construction program. We have an aggravated which also would a grow dome well in the area for the baby born, the estimation is 20,000 feet. They are still currently looking at siding, looking at modeling after the seven the day cap, which is basically that one that we aspire and model after. So they are working on that. So one of the things that we are looking at this way is utilizing the funding donated a couple of years ago, over $60,000. We to have GO1 funds that are available, and then Rodney is also working with Mr. Mark Heinrich's office. They do support the work. I have been in contact with the last about year and a half, where I'm with the Lava Foundation that work with closely. So we're hoping that we can apply in November, December to get that moving forward. So we don't have an estimated cost, but this could be
so just so wrap my head around this, so this is the plan schematic, if you will, for the Pauline Energy side, as to what we build there.
yes.
And the plan is to possibly see if the new 20,000 square feet building. If that was to happen, what would we do with the building the current one?
Well, those of course would be for consideration to for the board. And you know, we are contemplating our facility master plan meeting. Part of that conversation with Ms. Colleen Martinez, I think is her last name. She had indicated that there is concern with the structural component of our table. We have done several wonders. There are some legal part that the coverage technology across the wall and on the floor on the outside of the building. So that is a concern of hers. So there is a recommendation. There's a major renovation for hospital to be at the Warner Middle School, potential demolishment in the middle. So where location of classrooms are at and middle school, there could be a possibility in terms of the wall would approve a recommendation, would be to demolish. They're available for the building. And construction of what that will. Last. Progress, one of the conversations that have been had. To, renovate that area and have a dedicated sports complex. And moving back, the baseball field, soccer. Soccer field, so there's a lot of ideas.
One thing that I want to make sure that we do is, you know, I know we were talking about, using one of those, possibly, you know, I mentioned there as a side of things. We need to make sure our master plan is integrating all this together, so we don't go rehab a baseball field or a softball or whatever, and then we have plans of redoing all this high school campus, we want to change all this good going on. We done to make sure that we have a really good master plan, but that's gonna look like. I think, Barton, I don't know if somebody just thinks that, I don't think the Barton can be touched, as part of the scope of registry maybe or something. You know, somebody told me that, I don't know, something that would have to be looked at. So those are the things I want to make sure that we and whoever is kind of looking into all that.
Ms. Martinez did mention, the last meeting, that she was going to use to them. You know, she did see that, let's say that perhaps down the road with consideration for demolition in the building, is that the, exterior would look similar to what it is right now, so when that she, the location, right? So, she is aware she is drafting, what she has made, those recommendations already. And I think we'll propose that ideas will have done a little bit, the master plan and almost ever looking at by missing one school. So you have, some information that she needs. But I think that she's looking at having it done by the beginning of October.
By when, sorry?
Either more next week in October or November.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Next item on the agenda would be item C, education technology necessity resolution adoption. Dr. Glenda?
Mr. Chairman, there's a board to have, determined like this on the line. To the official, resolution. Mr. Hernandez?
Yes. Good evening, Superintendent, members of the board.
Hold on 1 second. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I'll start again. Good evening, Superintendent and members of the board. Thank you for inviting me to this meeting. Am I on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So what we are here for is to seek your approval for the school district to enter into a equipment lease, a methodology by which the district can acquire technology equipment by borrowing essentially money from the New Mexico Finance Authority on a short-term basis. The essentially the loan would be for a maximum of 5 years. The amount would be for $1,100,000. The staff has a list of equipment that they have proposed, which they can provide to you. And the process that we are following is is that which was created by a New Mexico constitutional amendment a number of years ago, which authorized school districts to enter into this lease purchase arrangement. And by doing that, you are able to tap into ad valorem property taxes to pay off the loan. And the way this works is you enter into a lease with the New Mexico Finance Authority. The equipment will be then acquired. It will be used by the school district, and each year for approximately 5 years, if this is level debt service, it would be 250,000 for 4 years, which would be 1,100,000 in the final year, and that would pay off the loan. And at that point, the lease would terminate, and all the equipment would be back in the returned to the school district, and title would be in the school district. There are a number of words on paper. All of this is in accordance with the Lease Purchase Act, Educational Technology Act, and in accordance with New Mexico law. And with that brief explanation, I will stand for any questions that you may have. I'm sorry,
How will the district be paying this back?
Mr. Melendez,
yes, please.
how would the district pay this back?
How with what now?
How
Say
would the
again.
district pay this back?
You're breaking up, ma'am. Mr. President, you're breaking up. Oh, thank you. The district would pay this loan back by imposing ad valorem property taxes each year for 5 years that the loan is outstanding. And this would be done through the mechanism where this vote, when it becomes final, will direct the county to collect ad valorem property taxes. That's the amount of money collected from property owners, transfer it to the district, and the district will then use that ad valorem property tax to pay off the loan. It will not come from the general fund, and it will not come from any other place but these taxes.
Yeah, all property tax.
I'm sorry that my connection is so bad. Uh, this it conceivably could increase the tax rate, yes.
According to Mr. Brad Hanks and we keep even with this and taking out the taxes not more than what they are right now, it would still keep us above the total bills that we have right now. So taxes would still, we would still be paying less even if this. What it does is it maintains the level that we're at.
That's what probably is, yeah, you make it sound like a big problem.
We want to make sure that it's transparent. The constituents make sure that we put that out, that the minimum is increased. Okay. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you. I'll turn it back to you then, Superintendent. Let me know I'll listen, see how it comes out. Thank you.
Settle your recommendation. On the recommendation, I make a motion that we approve.
Second motion.
A second by Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is student reports. Sue.
So for my student reports, it's emerging in five. Actually, late August, September, the school, last week is school year. Students are starting to find the school year back to the school. Company is also good for last quarter. It seems to have gone well with schools and the community. Now, personal candidate really felt like last year. Since students were back to school, they received the for walking around the school. So for the more, more report and then updates and the positives. And I put together on my business via AC, security guard and candidates to just for like implementings and all that. At those meetings, I have updates that they have begun with the kids and their Gambita program has also started. For once a week, they want more reward system options, tying it within. So that we still don't have any updates as of right now. For once a week, they also are wanting an AC, a science lab, and more painted areas on the playground. From Memorial Middle School, I have no updates as of right now for once a week. A few teachers and students have mentioned to me that common areas is a little more stuff, the sidewalks aren't completely even. And a few students and even a few teachers following. Students have told me that they want bullying prevention and consequences to be more heavy and culinary arts program. At Robertson, for updates, we have executive officer elections for student council happening soon, and we had an awesome meeting. For once a week, in the feminine, for females who want to make opinions and records. The few students are wanting saltier and heavy proteins for breakfast, and then finally starting up an official student council district. Right now, we have an unofficial, but we have to put that we're not affiliated with students. So they can use everyone did. And then as a goal for all schools, I had a lot of complaints about records, and then kids are watching the library. And then
The day plus grill.
I'm not sure, I don't want to say on campus for lunch and if I'm in meetings. But I never smell it.
Thank you, Mr. So.
We were in between like staff meeting, so this week, actually today, I started training, Jennifer for, so Monday we should be operating them.
Good, and that would be from school and middle school and high school.
Yeah.
Great.
And I have some questions considered for the gym. I know there's pretty big gaps. So we put on our people rushing, but a lot of the people rushing downstairs. Yeah, they don't walk correctly, and like you have to have a your friend go with you.
Oh.
Hold the door.
And that's it at the gym.
The one for example, they close at the high school, the gaps are. And then a lot of the elementary is also complained about it, but I didn't get to see it. They're not. They're crazy.
Attention.
Yeah.
I know if you're hearing sample, but at some point somebody took off and moved up, the doors
Yeah.
on the restrooms in the gym because they were breaking. doors.
Last year. So, and last year, we worked with, home administration, was put up, their exterior, partitions. But maybe the gap in the levels of ours, we'll have to make adjustments to them. It should have been.
I think that plus girl would be great. I heard there's a couple of entrepreneurs there at the middle school that were selling candies and hooks up the backpacks and,
Thanks for letting me know.
yeah, yeah, I heard there was a couple entrepreneurs there, which have all did. Yeah, the guys over at the school, bought some, so.
It's just not a library. We have a library at the school. We just can't go check out books. And I know for high school students that have to create classes, it's been kind of a challenge. To go get new books because we have.
What's, I know we're in the library every day at that meeting. We're all invited to. What's the status of all the libraries? I mean, obviously, less people are checking out books and everything's technology based. So what's the status of all the libraries?
There's more positions that, where they eliminated, probably over time, that happened before every single. So if our administrators, particularly the elementary. We were looking at hiring someone part-time, nothing else to rotate through some school to open it up at least. But we find out.
We have any budget to hire somebody part-time?
We have to explore that.
But even at that point, in the library functional with the reference to having all of those catalogs and having a mechanism of being able to check out the books, or how long has it been that they've been able to check out?
I was able to check out with last year.
Okay.
Just as school started this year, our learning time. We had to kind of figure out. That would be something that our principal can try to navigate. Can't speak for them.
How is it in other districts? Is APS, other districts, are they still doing books, they're in it, on books, computers, on technology?
There's dedicated, certified librarians. Other schools have, individuals that are called libraries, which are basically like educational systems that are assigned to teaching books in and out. So there's no formal instruction, if you will, that is a lower cost than needs to be developed.
We never on the subject, what we would do last time when some of the board members, went through the old Memorial Middle School. We have a huge library there, and there's massive amount of books. So that's, that we can donate, and where we can do that, we're gonna dispose of all that. We have the manpower to even go through that one.
So what we'll do is we move forward with this process and have conversations with Mr. Sala, and with Mr. Both is that a lot of the books that are there are books that are already obsolete, so they're already past their lifespan, if you will, so they're not already 6 years, so I think the district was maybe just housing them. So those could be disposed of, or they could be donated. I'm not sure if this district does the past, but sometimes books are donated to the Mexican school. So that's an option for us. And then there are some library books from administrators that have been, they've gone back and they've taken some of those chapter books that are things back to the libraries. So there's some technology equipment that's are also with us. Because that's several books, but a lot of them are no longer usable with the first students.
Thank you, Mr. Spear, we're still on, thank you. Next item on the agenda is superintendent report.
Mr. Chair, board, I do have on mine, information. So we were at the end of last year, so we are at 1,041 students. Right now is fifth grade with 101 students. Our smallest with 60 students. Our elevators are being worked on, so time about 4 weeks. But they have been here every day, so they are looking at probably a shorter timeline, but One of the things that we have encountered this building in particular is, ensuring that our fire system is connected to the elevator and that it will communicate out and that we do have an active phone line. So I was speaking to electrician, and, individuals from, Southern, to see if they can come in and do a review. PSFA has, agreed and they are working with, TFA to get funding on their side to, complete projects at Robertson High School. So we're hoping that working around quickly, however, KSFA has had a significant turnaround in their staff. So there's a significant lag in a lot of the work that they're doing. We are actually still on our own for the school projects. So there's a lot of delay on there. I have submitted, this was information that was from Robert's received recently. We are requesting an extension for which then the expiration date of 2027. One of the pieces that Ms. Gonzalez and our finance team have found is that we have not done some drawdowns for these bonds, and I don't want to speak to this in the executive fashion, so Ms. Gonzalez, we have additional to add to that.
Just mainly that we are looking at each bond as maybe having more of from last year. It's having 1.5 that needs to be drawn down from the bonds.
So Mr. Dawes, that money are getting counted for at $1.5 million?
It's not accounted for in our cash, so that will let us, we paid that out of pocket and now we just got regarding the obligated, we just got in that we have.
And how long was, this is 3 years, it's expired, so it was a 3 year?
So we're going back for the years, this was from last fiscal year, we needed to draw down the 1.5, but we are looking into the previous year as well.
Thank you.
The next is the strategic plan meeting. We have officially talked about a work session today. ERB has changed the requirements for retirees, so the volunteer that we had initially worked with can no longer provide service towards. So this is scheduled for October 1st from 5 to 7. That will be at the Department of Fall. And the question I have for you all is if for the board to attend, if all of you or a foreign has to attend, it would need to post this at the work session. If it won't be a couple, then we can just leave it as is. If you will let me know, work with you, Mr. President, to get that posted if necessary.
When you do, what's the procedure?
Yeah, first. So we have a writing course, students, parents, committee members, all the good recommendations from the leadership team to the students and of course some of the parents and the other one. So we hope to have a good turnout. I think something that is very noteworthy to bring to your attention, and do want to acknowledge Mr. David Gonzalez, who with us this evening. As you know, cash in athletics, and are looking to go back with both our concession stand and our gate sales, and to date. We have made in a concession stand $9,139, which is as of this was up with the 16% of what we made last year. And our gate sales is 16,180, which is 21% of what we made last year. Which is a difference, a positive difference of a little over $2,300. Last year for our gate receipts, we made $78,732, and our concession made $59,044. So those percentages that I indicated, and we're not halfway through our September, first the games in does in my mind indicate that going cashless for both ends has made a significant change. So I don't know if it's ease of access for purchasing. We are seeing the benefits of that. Thank you, Mr. Rivas, for that work.
Ms. Sandoval, just so I'm fair, I'm representing this. So you said that the difference of 10,300, what's the difference of like from last year, are you comparing the 2 years?
Yes,
So you're saying that the $10,300 difference now that we went cashless from the previous year? At this point?
at this point in time.
But is that a clear indication as to, did we have more games this year than last year? Did we any good research on that?
Probably some other amounts of games or, to date, if it's anything, it's gonna be 1 or 2 games difference, but there's not much, like I said, we're not looking at 15, but this one. The year round, last year, 60% in mid-September and 21% of the sale through the gates to the again.
So we're at 20% last year, correct?
Yes.
But all of that.
Gates belong.
Wow. Is there any issues with individuals having problems with access and stuff like that?
That was one of the access we have had a few issues, that Mr. Gonzalez worked in actually purchasing those tickets, or his staff being available to get maybe some of the older generation to, have the close or no close to purchase those tickets. And then we have some connectivity issues. It would go that far, so maybe those are big enough. But it is, like I said, it is moving.
Mr. Gonzalez,
If I may, on the iPad, that we acquired in Google Bank, we were able to set up the iPad and the smart meters. So that we, in the event of an older gentleman, they didn't have a smartphone or any, we have the capability of accepting credit cards. And I helped the older gentleman, they go in and buy a season pass to that option. For an area, we have a family credit card meters, and they're able to start the cards. The ease of access in minutes, it's not. So we eliminated those.
I've gone all over the state following my kids in sports, and I think we were one of the few districts that actually did that bill. There's always issues at every venue. One venue for Valencia last year for a volleyball game or a basketball game. And you have to stand outside of the cell phone service inside the building, so there's always issues. We just navigate them. Like it would be fine. There was one other question. I don't know, you want me to add a couple of questions about the elevator? Is that going to be a change order now? You have to go out for the nutrition?
It won't be part of an additional cost to the district because they don't do the electrical works. We've already reached out to electric person. That is something that's so they're going to do some work at Robertson. And then some will be coming in, or they're sending people who see what that is.
And then my next question, sorry, you stated that we have 10,041 students in the entire district. It's up from last year, by a little bit, I assume.
About 40 students.
Of 40 students. So if we were to build a new memorial school, a new elementary school, of course, they would do right sizing based on the amount of students that we currently have in our district. So that'd be based on the students will dictate how much money we're spending on schools by basic square footage, correct?
So they do it, and this is similar to the facility master. There's a righteous linear, trajectory that they're looking at enrollment, they look at birth rates, community, and then, they make a determination. So then when I submitted the application for restructuring of the school and to reopen, I had to project out, the enrollment for the districts, from 5 years. And also looking at those fluctuations. So fortunately, we're a little higher, so we can keep that, and then hopefully attract students, into the district by offering the more rigorous, the more, robust curriculum, with that. Turn around and have that district, the growth projected.
That's still a 7-year student decrease of 10 years according to PD's statistics.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Students, those results.
If I may make one last point, that revenue that we're looking at, it's even, wow, each student that we're allowing our facility for the event and staff. So that would be part of their staff member and community, we're not doing that this year, we're looking at community, so I want to get that.
Great. Talking about passes, I know there was, I know that I got calls on some lifetime pass holder. I don't even know what a lifetime pass is. Maybe a board previous to me.
So that's be a question well. The Mr. Morales, more so than I, but we have had some individuals coming to the gates indicating that they have and we were not necessarily familiar with who had them and why. So at this point, we kind of put a cost to them. But I would like to know from you all, if you guys have some information with regards to maybe the list of individuals who have them.
This is from
15 to 20 years ago, full board, it was the brainchild of Mr. Board of Philip Hill, who decided to start the Wall of Honor. The board voted on it and approved it, and one of the privileges of that Wall of Honor was the community superintendent was granted a lifetime pass. So that's been going on for the last 15 to 20 years. The passes are different from everyone else. In my mind, the only way to not allow this is if this board has to rescind, because it was approved by the board.
And the Wall of Honor is the people that are.
If you give this walk around, there's only a handful that live in Austin, and even less than that will attend games.
But my personal opinion, and of course, it gets to the body of the board. If that was proved that it was something that's been established for 20 years, and we should continue on. I don't think, my personal opinion, I would not want to rescind that. That was something that was approved.
And again, it wasn't, that was, Valentine, but because we did it, Valentine, we didn't want to, kind of open up just one piece, and so thank you for the clarification. And it's
We did immediately ask for
So the only people that have a lifetime pass are the people that are up on that wall.
yes. Like I said, there's only a handful in most regions. And that handful in the rest of the country.
Dollars, knows who's on that wall. I mean, there's how many people are on the 30, 40, 50, 32. So do we give out a card so they go to a game and present it, or because there might not be Mr. Gonzalez in every single game, and how does anybody know who's on that wall?
Yeah, you're right, that big ground, very employees or students, you have. An exam.
Also, they have an issue with that student.
The night you get on, that is. From my experience, last couple annual games at the beginning of the season, I've seen a variation in the past. There's been some lifetime passes, there's been some annual passes that have been passed out, so they're not all a. So any passes are different from yours. I think the lifetime passes is one. Okay, but that's the lifetime pass, we can issue out 14 new that we printed the item back that everyone gets here, employee, we made it a little bit different, and it says it's 2025, 26 athletic pass, but we can do very similar like that, or we can acknowledge that one there, so. Because there's like people variation of different. I didn't think of the things or something. They're all doing.
So, good time, Mr. Gonzalez, so you stated there just a second ago that you've seen a variation of passes between annual passes and lifetime passes. Are you not aware of the annual passes that are being issued, or are those previous annual passes from the previous year, or?
Those are previous passes that were, and they don't have dates on, or people have dates on it. They just say, annual pass or lifetime pass or whatever, you, you saw more recently at a soccer game, didn't do anything like that, and they were overprotected in that city of lifetime. This is the one,
Does that affect that, Mr. Gonzalez?
I know it's quite a bit bigger. Didn't do that.
That's the gentleman who went. So that's the half of the
Well, there that day. Was one,
yeah,
you're the second one,
it was me and then my father, he's not allowed to pay it.
So what we can do is, go through the walk, make sure we have a list, and then what we're going to do is, reissue those badges, something similar. And then it's in the sturdier, or school badges. And issue it back out to all of the members of the lower mark.
Actually, there's some, if it's been 20 years, I guarantee there's some recipients of that wall line that we pass, or lost them, whatever the case may be. But yeah, absolutely, I don't think if the body, the board has done it 20 years ago and we voted on it, I think we have to continue. Spending the other question?
Or has previous given them to retirees. And, other people that are not supposedly. But they haven't given them.
I can understand where you're coming from, Mr. Gonzalez, but there's so many passes out there, if we just kind of clean it up a little bit and maybe just. Ask how you got them or where, and then maybe they can come into your office. I don't know if this state they did this to the board, do this, or just recommendations, maybe they can go to Mr. Gonzalez's office, and get a new updated badge, and maybe write down the name, we can keep track as to all the individuals to have these on it.
I'm interested to get something.
So, Mr. Romero, please attend all the games you want, you go over your recipient with the ball of honor and continue going. Mr. Romero will do the same, so, and let anybody else know that is on that we are going to continue with that. I think there is some issues there.
all the people that call me.
Mr. Romero, was yours the wall of honor as well?
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Was yours the wall of honor as well? Was yours gold?
no, this is different, this is gold.
Yeah, this was in gold. You're saying that everybody was gold, what? So, yeah, it's not all gold, so I mean, that's where the difference is coming in.
I think it'd be good just to just go through the ball of honor, maybe you can touchdown and it's happened to come by Mr. Gonzalez. Of course, it's the day-to-day board has nothing to do with this thing, this is the recommendation.
They could just say wall of honor and have the date on it. And that way they know that you're the recipient of the wall of honor. And you-
Mine says the wall of honor.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll reissue, I don't want them, we just needed some clarification. Other than that, my particular report, I have nothing else, we do have, staff reports, I don't have any questions for any of the administrators that have never seen me. Regarding their work.
I don't have anything specific, if there's anything that they would like to share to the board, any challenges and issues. All done.
On the road,
Would they give you exactly the person after borough rates for middle school?
Well, I did speak on this flag at more.
what is that?
Some of the cracks are technology based.
Okay.
A whole majority are.
And I would say the good thing that we're, that we have in place now is, it's full suspension, so we can talk the exact on.
And only because the student report that some of the students were having more difficult for bullying, I think, how many girls are coming from bullying or not.
Student control in regard to bullying, just a little concerned regarding students that are not being wrong. But as far as the girls, I have about a handful of girls that we processed into movie a total of 5 suspensions since the beginning of the year, roughly, for various infractions between babes. These are sort. Anything else? Folks can like to service?
And if students are not getting along for specific, I think we have to come in and, mediate. So if they're working with one of the students, either getting a or the harm is made, I do think there are going to be.
One of the things that we started off, this year, is, and all of our administrators here, have been initially trained with, restorative, practices and a more restorative approach. So not to have, so much of a punitive aspect, but for students to identify what the issue is, what the impacts of, behaviors and so on. So that's, they've gone through a first round. We've had maybe about 15 staff members since first year, 15, 20 staff members that have gotten that. They did indicate maybe to a couple of our administrators that kind of some of the best treatment that they've had in the year. So we're hoping that that will be something that will take off. And there are other. Want to thank my leadership team, Mr. Pilates with us here this evening, an administrative intern with us, as well as Danette Martinez. So they are both working closely with our principals, with Ms. Garcia. So it's working really well together. Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
And with that, you were reading them.
No other questions? Next item on the agenda is. Executive session. Motion to enter executive session. Motion by Mr. Romero, do I have a second? Second by Mr. Gonzalez. Roll call please.
Board member Daniel Shapiro.
Yes.
Board member Daniel Kuzma. Board secretary Dr. Jordan Reserve. Board vice president Dr. Gonzalez. Board president Michael Guzman.
Yes, Board of Education will begin those. That represents the administrative and open data that can be 180. Discussion and planning for pending litigation. NSA 1978, section 251 H, discussion of limited personnel matters. Executive session is 6:14. NSA 1978 section 1051 H, discussion of limited personnel matters.